when altars appeared all over the world. Everyone was sacrificing their most precious items in the hope of being rewarded with a white light. At that moment, I threw a packet of spicy snacks right into the middle of an altar. The people around me were making fun of me. They were calling me poor. But as soon as the altar turned into its highest level red light, a mythical item emerged from the glow, something that had never been seen before, because I had awakened a unique power, Eye of Truth. It can see the connected coordinates and the demands of any altar. By simply offering the right item according to its demand, one can get the highest reward from the altar. Nobody knew that just a few hours ago, I was just an ordinary guy whose ex-girlfriend had looted him. She had immediately gotten into an expensive car, taking my newly bought Dior bag with her. Seeing her leave, I felt as if the sky was going to fall, and suddenly a loud noise actually came from the sky. Right after that, countless altars fell from the sky, and the whole world was engulfed in a fiery light. Suddenly, my eyes stung, and when I opened my eyes again, there was a line written on the nearby altar that only I could see. Altar number 666. Connected coordinate, endless abyss. A giant beast that has eaten everything. The long passage of time has made him bored. Right now, he is looking for food that is extreme taste and thrill. By then, people nearby had also gathered. When a fat boy threw the bread from his hand into the altar, a soft white light came out of it a little later, and then a glowing fruit emerged. Seeing all this, the fat boy's breathing became heavy. Without thinking, he put that fruit into his mouth. His body fat disappeared instantly, and right before our eyes, he turned into a ripped, muscular guy. Seeing this, the rest of the people couldn't control themselves and quickly started throwing their most precious items into the altar, whether it was a Patek Philippe watch or gold and diamonds. The crowd went so crazy that they were throwing things in without a second thought. Seeing all this, my mind went numb, because only I knew that the creature behind the altar just wanted an extreme stimulation, and I remembered clearly that once a friend brought a death spicy snack from outside, which I had merely licked, and for 3 days, I was in a terrible state. I was stuck inside the toilet. Knowing all this, I started wondering, if a piece of bread could yield an enhancement fruit, then what would I get if I gave that monster exactly what it liked? Thinking this, I ran off. I searched my entire house and pulled out that death spicy snack. After calming down, I didn't go out immediately. Instead, I turned on my computer screen to check the news. I found out that there was a massive uproar on the global internet. The word altar was dominating every website. Meanwhile, I read a news headline stating that a sheik in the Middle East sacrificed a truck full of gold and gained superpowers. The altar gave that man a blue glowing seed. When that rich man ate the seed, he got the terrifying power to summon vines. Besides this, another piece of news caught my attention. Japan's sacrifice had failed, and 10 evil spirits were summoned. A kendo master had sacrificed his ancestral sword, but as a reward, a demon made of black smoke emerged. Currently, there is massive destruction in Japan. The army has been called in to control the monster. I was getting scared seeing all this news. I realized that failing a sacrifice could also bring dangerous disasters. Therefore, understanding the altar's exact demand was extremely crucial. Just then, my phone vibrated. It was an emergency notice from the Chinese government. Initial resources revealed that there is a huge risk with these mysterious altars and a limit too. A person can sacrifice only once per altar. Every person can only sacrifice 3 times a day. Also, the arrival of the altars emitted an unknown energy pulse, which destroyed all CCTV cameras worldwide. Reading this, a wave of joy ran through my heart. This is the perfect opportunity. I checked the time on my phone. It was 10 p.m., packing the death spicy snack. I quietly headed toward the plaza without overthinking it. There was no one there. Only spoiled leftover items from a morning were lying around. From my pocket, I took out that death spicy snack and carefully placed it on the altar. Suddenly, a massive change occurred in the altar. A red light shot up toward the sky. In the blink of an eye, the entire city was covered in red light. People walking on the streets kilometers away were terrified seeing this horrifying sight. At that very moment, I saw a large black egg form on the altar. I immediately hugged it and disappeared from there without stopping. At this time, a siren blared at the Abnormal Affairs Bureau headquarters in the country's capital. A serious-faced man asked, "Report, General. According to our info, we have traced that area." The location shown on the map was the very city where I was, the West District of Jiang City. Declare this area an S-Class observation zone immediately. Inform the Jiang City branch. Find out at any cost what that red light was. By this time, I had run back home. Seeing that huge egg in my arms, I was confused as to what it actually was. I thought I couldn't crack it to make golden fried rice. So what was the use of it? Suddenly, weird words formed on the egg shell. Abyssal Demonic Dragon Egg. Quality mythical. After the egg hatches, you'll get an abyss demonic dragon as a pet. Its power could even kill gods. Seeing this description, I became incredibly happy. People who play games know that mythical is the highest tier in all categories. That death spicy snack did not disappoint me at all. Then I noticed something strange. My eyes could also analyze the altar's reward item. I was a bit surprised seeing this. I ran to the washroom and stared at myself in the mirror. A text appeared on the mirror. I have truth, quality, unique, can see the cause and effect of everything. Furthermore, when looking at an altar, my eyes show me its connected coordinates and requirements. Looking at altar-related items reveals their quality, name, and everything else. I was thrilled to know this. I now knew everything about my abilities. I muttered to myself, I hadn't thought these eyes would have so many uses. Suddenly, I remembered the previous news post where many people received weird wood or normal stones. They didn't know their use, so they went to waste. But my case is completely different. I just have to look at those things once, and I'll get all the info. Finding hidden gems in the future was now possible for me. I wrapped the dragon egg in a blanket. I checked the time on the clock. It was 10:30 p.m. There was only an hour and a half left before the day ended. I still had 2 more sacrifice chances left. Thinking this, I put some necessary things in my bag, like mint oil, a lighter, and a philosophy book. Other people considered these trash, but I kept them. Along with them, I kept a fruit knife at the end for my safety. Just then, my eyes fell on the photo frame kept on the table. In the photo, Xia Weiwei was smiling very happily. Thinking that keeping this had no use, I put the photo in my pocket to throw it away. Leaving the house, I went straight to the abandoned factory area in West City. That place had been closed for a long time, and the route there was complex, making it the best place to take action. Suddenly, my phone started ringing. The caller was none other than my ex-girlfriend, Xia Weiwei. I straightforwardly cut the call. I blocked her and deleted her number too. At the same time, in a 5-star hotel, Xia Weiwei was with Zheng Yang. She thought I would still be sitting sad in my broken-down rented house. But the very next second, I cut the call. Seeing this, a fire of anger ignited inside my ex-girlfriend. She started thinking, how dare the loser she dumped cut her call. Zheng Yang was with her, who, upon hearing this, asked her, "What happened, baby?" Just a simple question calmed all of Xia Weiwei's anger. She was very happy looking at the man in front of her because he could easily buy her thousands of dollars worth of bags and watches worth millions. In today's time, these were the best sacrifice items, and true love or promises were useless in front of these benefits. After all, she had sacrificed the Dior bag I gave her, which yielded an amazing green light from the altar, and in her next 2 sacrifices, luckily, she got green lights again. With all this, it seemed she was the queen of destiny in this new era. Zheng Yang, sitting nearby, was also taking care of Xia Weiwei, but there was cunningness in his eyes. He had initially thought of just spending a little money to have some fun, but he didn't know this woman's luck would be so good that she'd get a green light 3 times in a row. Therefore, Zheng Yang started thinking that keeping her around might be beneficial later. On the other hand, I had reached that abandoned factory area. I had to find 2 right altars before 12 o'clock midnight. Otherwise, the chance would be wasted. Walking a short distance, I saw an altar. Altar number 25091. Connected coordinate, scrap machinery spirit. A mechanical imp who likes to collect trash. He has a strong attachment to bottle caps. Seeing this information, I shook my head. A trash-picking mechanical imp. What good thing would this even give? Then I moved a little further. Then another altar appeared. Altar number 18472. Connected coordinate, dry pond. A dying fish spirit who wanted to drink sweet water one last time. But I wasn't satisfied with this altar either, and I kept walking until I reached a narrow street filled with garbage. Confirming that no one was there, I focused on that altar. Altar number 444. Connected coordinate, tragedy theater. A tragedy drama heroine who constantly roams the stage. She is bored with her prefixed script. Now she wants something filled with true betrayal, filled with intense hatred and pain. Reading this, my breath hitched. First, the altar's number was 444, and its demand was also on a completely weird level. Then I remembered that I just had a breakup recently. I took out Xia Weiwei's photo and made cuts on it with the fruit knife. I was afraid that the hatred and pain wouldn't be completely expressed, so I closed my eyes and started to remember. We belong to different worlds. Please don't bother me anymore. Thinking of Xia Weiwei's words, I suddenly smiled. I took out the lighter from my pocket and burned a portion of the photo, turning it black. Then I placed it on the altar. Suddenly, a purple light pillar emerged. Its light wasn't as bright as a red light, and there was no mention of this color light in the news either. I started having high hopes from this light. Just then, 5 old tickets popped out, and I immediately grabbed them in my hand. Eye of Truth activated, and text appeared. Series Item, Act 4's admission ticket. Quality, Epic. A single-use consumable item. By using this ticket, anyone's deepest fears or painful memories can be brought out, severely worsening their mental health and paralyzing them for 3 seconds. Seeing this, I was quite impressed. This was epic level. Even though it wasn't as powerful as a dragon egg I found earlier, it was a 3-second hard crowd control item. In a fight, this was enough to decide life and death, and it seemed to be a part of a larger series. If I could find the previous parts, who knows what would happen? I was thinking all this, but then I realized I didn't have much time to think because there was only half an hour left until 12 o'clock midnight. I started searching the factory area more and found another altar. Altar number 7591. Connected coordinate, confusing crossroads. A lost explorer hoping to know the right path. Seeing this information, I shook my head and moved on. I couldn't provide a solution for this demand. Going a little further, an altar caught my attention. Altar number 1988. Connected coordinate, silent library. An old librarian wants to hear genuine praise from the heart. I was thinking of selecting this, but never mind. Thinking about my old bad days, I decided to extract maximum profit from the altar. After circling the whole place, I finally found a large workshop, inside which an altar stood strangely. Altar number 10010. Seeing the number didn't bother me much, but the very next moment, I understood that this number was actually a binary code. Weird text popped up. Connected coordinate, logic starting point. A super AI about to gain consciousness. It knows all complex calculations, yet it fails to understand one paradox. Why intelligent creatures think about questions that have nothing to do with survival. It wants a sample of this useless wisdom. I immediately decided this was the one and pulled a book out of my bag. The book's name was Being and Nothingness, which was an existential philosophy book. This book matched the altar's mind perfectly. After placing the book on the altar, a loud noise rang out, making me feel like my eardrums would burst. The smell of burning electronic wires filled the air. I got scared. Did I fry its CPU? Suddenly, a golden light shot up into the sky. The entire workshop was bathed in golden light. My heart started beating rapidly. Who would have thought that in just a few hours, I had gathered red, purple, and golden, 3 such lights that no one on the internet had even seen. Suddenly, a cold and lethal feeling came from behind. In the bright light, I saw a black shadow rushing towards me at an inhuman speed. The tip of a knife was about to pierce my back, but the very next moment, the attacker's body froze in place. After that, a painful scream echoed, and his small knife fell to the ground. He was holding his head in agony because, at the last moment, I had used the Act 4 admission ticket, trapping the enemy in his painful memories for 3 seconds. I quickly pulled a fruit knife from my waist and finished him off in a single strike. Then I stood leaning against the wall, trembling uncontrollably. After all, I had taken someone's life for the first time. Looking at his dead body, I turned my face away and threw up everything in my stomach. A little while later, I gathered myself and stood up. It seems high-level lights give benefits, but they also invite death. It attracts dangerous people hiding in the dark. Then I saw 2 faint white lights emerging from a body. I activated the Eye of Truth. Lightweight legging. Quality normal. Slightly increases speed and jump height. Unknown status. After that, I looked at a second item. Poor quality stamina amulet. Quality normal. Slightly increases the body stamina, and this too has no owner. Reading the word unknown made my head spin. I understood a very dangerous rule. Kill and loot. If you kill an enemy, you can make their sacrifice items yours. This man had 2 useful items. He might have killed someone before too. But why was there only news about different colored lights on the internet? Why didn't anyone warn about this risk? I started getting even more scared moving forward. It wasn't that people didn't know, but those who knew chose to remain quiet. Because of this, some people died like that body lying on the floor. Some wanted to become hunters themselves, and some were afraid to speak, like the government. Because if everyone knew this truth, it would officially mean admitting that the old system was dead. The Dark Forest rule had begun, and the whole world would fall into an abyss that would be difficult to control. Thinking this, I didn't waste time. I picked up those white light items and looked straight into the center of the altar. There was a fist-sized metal cube placed there. I activated the Eye of Truth. Dimensional storage. Quality, legendary. Upon binding, it provides an initial 1,000 cubic meters of dimensional space. With just a thought, you can store and retrieve altar items from it. This turned out to be a legendary level item and an absolutely awesome support item. I immediately remembered my demonic dragon back home. I thought keeping it in this dimension would be the safest. As soon as my finger touched the cube, a massive space was added to my mind. As soon as I thought about it, the Act 4 admission ticket went inside too. After doing all this, I checked my phone. It was past 12 o'clock midnight. Then I put away that blood-stained fruit knife and thought about leaving the place. But as soon as I stepped outside, a massive lightning bolt tore through the sky, and it started raining in large drops. Just a little while ago, the moon and stars were shining. How could there be such a terrible rain suddenly? I thought this rain was quite strange, so I stayed put and didn't go outside. I had an umbrella in my bag, but I didn't know if the rain was dangerous or not. The world had changed completely since the altars arrived. Now anything could happen anywhere. Therefore, I decided to stay right there. Then I took out my phone and checked. Truly, messages related to the rain were flooding the internet. Previously, the trending topic was sacrifice items. Now everyone was asking, hey, is it thundering and raining heavily at your place too? Brothers, there's definitely something fishy about this rain. Don't get wet. You might mutate. What will happen to me? I got wet. I haven't even held my girlfriend's hand yet. Please don't turn me into a zombie. Posts were refreshing rapidly, and my heart also slowly started to feel fear. If the rain actually infects people, the consequences will be terrible. I was trying to figure out a solution when a red-colored post caught my attention, and I was shocked. Oh shit, something very bad has happened. The altars have disappeared. I immediately turned around and looked, and indeed, the previous altar had vanished. Along with it, I also noticed in fear that the dead body was missing too. But I was certain that no one else had come there, and there could be only one reason for this, and that is this rain. Its arrival means the altars will disappear and will wash away all the things from the previous day. On top of that, all the cameras in the world were shut down. Isn't this the perfect environment to commit murder and loot? When I found out the rain wasn't dangerous, I took out my umbrella and headed towards home. A short while after I left, the Abnormal Affairs Bureau arrived there. They quickly found the spot where the altar stood just moments ago. Leader Chin Fong immediately looked behind his team. A 20-year-old girl stepped forward. When she sacrificed yesterday, she got the power of energy backtracking. She could sense the residual energy nearby. The more powerful the energy, the clearer her marks were. Lin Won closed her eyes and began to sense. Suddenly, she let out a painful cry and started falling backward. Chin Fong immediately caught her. What happened? He asked her. Lin Won was panting heavily, and her voice trembled. This place is very different from the Nangong area yesterday. Suppose that was a firefly. Then this light is like the light of day or like the sun. One member couldn't contain himself and said, huh? Is this a golden light? Chin Feng's face turned completely serious. Block off this area immediately and start the investigation. Also, report this to the head upstairs. Tell them, I think a very dangerous monster is hiding here. On the other hand, as soon as I got home, I put that demonic dragon egg into the dimensional space. Now I didn't fear the egg being seized. I started wondering if the hatched dragon could also go inside it. That would be even better. But before that, the biggest issue was how to hatch it. I recalled the blood contract seen in movies, and I started trying those things. As soon as I dropped a drop of my blood on the eggshell, a small line of text suddenly appeared on the dragon egg. Hatch condition, absorb a massive amount of blood. This was a bit different from my ideas. Giving my own blood wouldn't be enough. I'd have to go and do something else tomorrow. I was on alert all day today, and because of that, I was quite tired. So I fell asleep quickly. At 5 a.m., a loud siren noise woke me up. I looked, and the altars had indeed returned. I took out my phone and checked immediately. I soon found some new updates. The gray rain of the night doesn't harm the body. And also, the rain stops at 5 a.m. and the altars return. After waking up, I thought I should go out and get something to eat and figure out where to get so much blood for the egg. I ordered noodles at a restaurant and was checking my phone. But even today, everyone on the internet was only talking about sacrifices. Some people had even become gamblers obsessed with sacrificing. While I was eating my noodles, I overheard two men talking nearby. One man built up weird suspense and said, "Look at the people outside. They're obsessed with sacrifices. They are giving away their old antiques and jewelry like gamblers." But they forgot one important thing. The other man became very curious hearing this. Upon hearing this, a bolt of lightning struck my mind. I remembered that food processing involves meat, and where does that come from? A slaughterhouse. I thought if I buy a slaughterhouse, the blood problem will be solved. I rushed back home and started searching on my computer. Due to the altar effect, many factories were being sold. I quickly caught a post. It said, a small slaughterhouse on the outskirts of West City needs to be sold quickly due to personal reasons. Price negotiable. I called the number without a second thought and immediately fixed a time to meet the man. After hanging up, I checked my bank account balance, and looking at it, I started thinking, this money might not even be useful for other people to sacrifice on the altar, but it could get me my dragon's nest right now. At 2 p.m., I went to the outskirts of Jong City. A middle-aged man welcomed me there and started showing me his factory. I was just staring around and didn't say anything. Seeing my cold and disinterested behavior, the man got confused and nervously quoted a slightly inflated price. But I didn't say anything to him. I just shook my head. No, after a lot of bargaining, I finally bought the place for 40% of his quoted price. The next man gave me the keys after signing the contract and also gave me the numbers of nearby farms, which directly solved my supply problem. When I took a tour of that factory, I found a secret passage to the basement. It was an old storage room. Suddenly, I sensed a small energy signature with my eyes. As I slowly removed the wooden board, an altar appeared before me. This altar was completely blood red, and a heartbeat sound was coming from it. Suppressing my fear, I activated the Eye of Truth, which caused great pain in my eyes. Then fiery red letters surfaced. Altar number 40. Connected coordinate, Crimson Throne. Needs to devour all things until reign of Crimson arrives. Special attribute, Eternal Altar. This altar will always remain here and will not consume your daily sacrifice limits. You can make unlimited sacrifices on it. Special attribute, Flesh Furnace. You can turn any altar item back into blood and flesh material. I was utterly amazed looking at that altar. That altar had the lowest number I had seen so far, and it would always stay here. The most dangerous thing was that it had no sacrifice limit, and this place was my private space. I thought, once this altar setup is complete, those useless items will now create blood energy power elements that will enhance my physique. I couldn't stop myself from checking it. After all, I had last night's altar reward. When I threw that poor quality stamina amulet inside, a small, old-style glass bottle emerged from the center of the altar, containing a little bit of black liquid. The Eye of Truth revealed the details. Name, original blood. Quality, normal. After drinking this, your blood energy will permanently increase slightly. This was exactly as I had thought. Without hesitating, I drank it. I thought it would be weird, smelly blood, but actually it was quite smooth and sweet. As I was wondering why there was no reaction, suddenly a heat wave surged through my body. I felt every cell in my body rapidly draw in the heat. Steam started coming off my body. This was giving a completely different feeling from the other props, because this was coming directly from my blood. I walked over to a piece of meat, and a simple punch from me sent that heavy 100-pound meat flying to the corner. This was far more terrifying than my expectations. Imagine you've just drunk one bottle of normal origin blood. At this rate, becoming a physical god was no longer just a dream. I was controlling my body. All right, guys, this was it. I have an exam tomorrow, so I try to keep this as short as possible. Oh, sorry, my exam is today. You'll be watching this around 8 to 8:30 today. Anyways, exam, and I already made the full video a night before. There's a little bit left to explain about this. Should I just do it, man? No, I'll do it later. I'm tired now. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. If you want part 2 for this, please write part 2 in the comment section and hype this video as much as possible. If this video gets 500 hype points, I will make its part 2. Otherwise, no. Thanks for watching.